EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Today we're here at Chambers Bay in University Place, Washington. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all the action out on the course. Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
First and foremost, Rich is going to be the host of the 2015 US Open, but it's a true links golf course designed by Robert Trent Jones II. Breathtaking views of the Puget Sound, as well as the Olympic Mountains on a clear day.
In the world of professional golf, there exists an elite club. A club filled with legends, household names, and rising stars. A club where membership is earned yearly with time, sweat. EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present opening round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. So another good result, playing this one as it should be played, right down the middle, in the fairway. Playing his second shot here at the par 5.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Frank, out of the rough, best to swing a little bit easier or get after it with all you have?
Well, a little bit in between. Obviously, it's going to require a little bit of strength to make sure that club keeps going through, but it's still the planning of the shot. Once again, check short. Is there anything I have to carry? And even remember, there's always the option of just simply pitching the ball down the fairway and taking your medicine.
Pretty good stroke right there, just hit it through the break.
It's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Come on, don't do that.
Cruel lip out. Even par currently.
So that's a bogey, and now to 1 over par for the tournament. Up now, hole number 12. It's a short one, 358 yard, par 4.
This can catch you off guard. If you just try and hit the ball on the fairway, if you're on the middle of the fairway, the left side, you will have a blind second shot. So ideally, hit it down that right side of the fairway if you want to see the flag.
And it is not looking like a good lie. .105 yards left.
Rich, too often we're seeing like the rich kid turn pro or want to turn pro. This player has a totally different background, a little more blue collar. This is more the way I grew up playing golf. I think just trying to do anything you can to get on the golf course and compete. And I always think, come Sunday when the pressure on, these are the players you look at. These are the dangerous players, the one that can go the whole mile.
Frank, this is a player who's done it his own way. He's not off the superstar assembly line with a cookie-cutter golf swing. I remember what former PGA champion Hal Sutton once said to me, you show me a guy with a homemade swing, that's a guy who believes in himself. And you think about the long list of great players who had homemade swings.
Yeah, I think deep down, you're right. All those great players you're referring to, they had the belief that their way was the best way. That's why their swings always stood out. Jim Furyk comes to mind.
Lee Trevino, Raymond Floyd. I mean, it's a pretty long list.
That's a tough lie to come out of. Not surprising it's come up short.
Well short right there, but still in the game for a par. Frank, here we go again. Another shot from the rough.
Yeah, let's see if he learned his lesson.
He'll need to be strong with this. That will be 4 over par on the scorecard for this hole. Time to pick up and move on. Let's go down now to hole number 13. Has not been a banner day for our featured player, Frank, but it is only the first round.
You always got to try and get something out of your round, even if it's something to work on for tomorrow.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Yeah, do that. The prodigy moves inside the cut line with that birdie. Frank, the 14th hole. A lot has happened here over the years.
I think it's the litmus test on the back nine. That's where things really start to heat up. It looks like a straightforward tee shot, but often the eyes wander to that water down the left side. And of course, if you think about that, you invariably fire the ball towards the right, where those hillocks and thick rough is, and virtually no chance of reaching the par 4 and 2. Second shot.
Headed for the bunker? Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Third shot coming up now from the bunker. Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Dropping a shot here late in the round, Frank, with that bogey at the 14th. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So that's a drop shot. Now to the 15th, and Frank, I know this is a hole that you really like.
Yeah, it gets no respect in my book, which I think is a shame. Just a nice dogleg to the right, and really two good shots, and a 3 here, which is actually a rarity. It sets you up for those closing 3 holes. Too often people just take 15 lightly, and 15 has just a gentle nibble that turns into a bite.
Frank, what's the key on this approach here at the 15th?
Well, knowing exactly where that pin placement is, Rich, there's mounding, there's that little gut out of the right side of the screen. If you miss your mark here, that ball can easily finish 30 or 40 feet away.
No problems there. Really good approach shot. And now, good look at birdie. Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Well, that'll do it for today. Not a great performance, not on the first page of that leaderboard.
Yeah, the people on the top of this leaderboard are there for a reason. They hit more fairways, more greens. It sounds easy, and I know this is a difficult course, but that's the way it's going to have to be played.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present second round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. Just what you want. In the right position on this par 5, in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Birdie try up next. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Pretty good effort right there. Locked in on the read and the speed.
It's a cruel game.
Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
Now to the 5th. This long par 4 thought to be one of the most difficult holes on the front side here at the TPC Sawgrass.
Yeah, if you've got plenty of length in the bag, you can almost take it directly over the bunker on the right. But if you're not as long, you have to air down that left side.
The second shot now to the par 4.
This is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Frank, it's a hard game to play from the high grass.
And that's where he's been more often than not today.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Solid play, heart of the green. Always take that. Good par putt right there. Frank, what are the players facing here at the 6th 393-yard par 4?
Ideally, you just want to hit that ball about 250 yards. It's going to leave you a shot of sort of 140 yards in. Then the green looks quite big because you're far enough back that those palm trees don't become a problem.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. So he's in the fairway bunker. Frank, what's the key here on this shot?
Sometimes take a little bit more club, but it still gets down to contact. Any little bit of sand gets between the ball and the club face, you will lose 10, 15, 20 yards.
Did the smart thing there, Frank. Took his medicine, back out onto the fairway. Third shot, looking for a good one. So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away. Good putt. Frank, what do you think of the seventh?
Interesting par 4 for two reasons. The undulating green on the end of the hole that also shapes to the right, that makes it look like a dogleg right. But really, you want to play that tee shot just inside those pot bunkers down the right side.
That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Pretty good shot right there. Getting set now over the putt. In for par. Missed cut. What happened, Frank?
Just not good enough. That's the easy way. Way too many shots out there, especially for that caliber of play. So put it in the memory banks, move forward, better days ahead.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the BioWare Classic. Well, here we are at the Wetlands Golf and Country Club. We're located along the St. Johns River in the Sunshine State, Florida. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Frank, what stands out when you look at the wetlands?
The swampland, the gators, really it's a good driving golf course, Rich. Not a lot of fairway bunkers in play here at Wetlands, but you drive the ball well here. You really can get a good score out here at Wetlands. They play the web.com here every now and again, so we've seen some good scores over the years, but always fun to be playing in Florida. Sun on your back, warm golf conditions.
And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. Not too unhappy with that, Frank, at 17 feet.
No, from that distance, it's more than good.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just misses. Oh, you can see the frustration. Almost kicked his putter head right there with a drop shot here at the fourth. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. Fifth hole, and we pick up the action. With a key stretch of holes ahead, our featured golfer really has struggled in the early going, Frank.
Yeah, a few mistakes out there, unforced errors you might want to say, so really attention to detail should be the concern right now.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. And now the second shot here at this par 5. That's a bit offline in the rough.
Remember, out of the rough, expect the ball to jump forward a little bit. Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Not quite where he was aiming, but still enough room to get it up and down. This one measures out to 15 feet. Well, Frank, you hear it so often. This is a game of dealing with your miscues.
That's the beauty of this game of golf. It giveth and it taketh away.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. On to the par 4 sixth here at the Wetlands. And Frank, how does that water factor into the way you play this hole?
It bisects this fairway beautifully, Rich. 233 yards to the run out on the first section of fairway, and that might be worth considering for the short hitters to try and flash it across the narrowest part of those wetlands. 276 yards, and of course the more horsepower you got, actually the easier this tee shot becomes.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Settles in over the putt. So frustrating sometimes on the greens, isn't it? Drop shot here at the 6th. This to avoid a huge number. This is for bogey. And he makes it for a bogey here. Here's another scoring opportunity, Frank. A par 5. The 7th is just a shade under 600 yards.
And it bends gently to the left, Rich. Longer hitters can obviously get home, and nothing really to be worrying about with that second shot if you can reach. The wetlands are well to the right of this hole for the second shot. But if you want to play to the 3-shotter, then that's a very safe, conservative way and really shouldn't cause you any problems whatsoever.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway.
Second shot.
Ready for his 3rd shot. Needs to hit this close.
Should be safely on deck.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Just a couple of feet. Been a rocky road to this point. 4 over par on the round. Eighth hole here at the Wetlands, par 3, 203 yards. You like this hole, Frank?
I do, actually, but you have to have a little look at your yardage book because that front bunker will make this hole look a little shorter to the eye than actually what it plays. The green gets a little narrow as it gets deeper, but flat and, well, I wouldn't say easy. 3 here, not too bad.
Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Locked in on the read and the speed. Oh my gosh, that hurts. Come on, you have to make that, don't you? Drop shot here at the 8th. Whew, this is tough to watch.
I've already got my eyes covered.
Frank, looking at this par 5 9th hole, it's 621 yards. I need to make birdie here. What's the best way to go about it?
Well, if you're a long hitter, then there's a chance you can reach this par 5 and 2, Rich. But really the best way to make birdie here, good tee shot, and then contemplate the layup. In between the first 2 bunkers, there's a nice section of fairway, and that's not going to leave you much in for that 3rd shot to a green that's very receptive. So really, birdie can be made the hard way, wedge and a putt.
Good tee shot, right in the short grass. Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank, this does not look like the same golfer we were watching earlier in the day.
It's hard to imagine what happened. This would be one player you'd want to interview at the end of the day and say, where exactly was the turning point? Because it all went south.
Now his third, staring right at the green. Frank, not where he wants to be, but not out of the hole here at the par 5.
No, but Rich, to drop a shot here would really set him backwards.
That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I tell you, a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
And that'll wrap up the first round. We saw some good golf today, Frank, but some others, they got off to a slow start.
Yeah, and I don't really know how to explain why. Maybe lack of practice rounds, maybe not enough time on the golf course. They certainly will have to regroup tomorrow and put up a show just to make the cut.